Hi, Carrie.
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
good. I'm sorry it took me a minute. I was having some
No,
technical difficulties.
yeah, no problem. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So, I hope this is okay that I'm recording us.
Yes,
Okay, I'm hoping that we can just have a little chat kind of about your brand, what's going on, and then if you're okay with it, I might use portions of it for like our YouTube or Instagram.
for sure. That's totally okay.
Okay, so yeah, Jessica, you are in the midst of creating snow leopards, is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
So, can you just tell me a little bit about maybe the brand and kind of what inspired you to start creating your apparel brand?
Well, yeah, it's been a long time in the works, both kind of getting it going and then more in started years ago. My oldest child is 13, and after she was born, I've been a lifelong skier. I grew up skiing and racing, and later teaching and doing a little bit of coaching. And after my first daughter, I realized I was not going to fit into my ski pants, and I had to wear a pair of Spanx underneath my long underwear. So, and then I had two more children after that, and every time that was the same drill because I refused to buy new ski pants. So I would wear Spanx and then my long underwear, and it just seemed to be a lot. And I couldn't believe that there wasn't a compression-based long underwear on the market. The other piece of it is after wearing long underwear for decades, there was never a good fit. They all cut me in the middle, or the waistband was like made your lower abdomen like pooch out a lot. So in my mind, I was like, there's got to be something that's possible for this. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And finally, my youngest daughter went off to kindergarten a couple of years ago. She's now in first grade, and I decided that this was going to be a good time to start researching options and working on starting a compression-based long underwear. And I started taking classes through the Apparel Mentor, and then kind of just moved on from there, and we've been slowly working at it. I've definitely been, uh, we've been to a trade show. We've been working with a pattern maker. I finally just last week got my first prototype. So we're in the fun part of it now, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. That is the fun part. That's so exciting to hear that you've made that much progress. So yeah, tell me, so you're at the point of getting your first prototype, maybe back it up a little bit, and how was the experience as far as just getting to that point? Like any hurdles, any like aha moments that you had in terms of like just, I don't know, anything, hooking up with a pattern maker or getting the fabric or just a little bit about that.
Well, yeah. So I mean, my background is in education. I was a K-12 Spanish teacher, so going into the apparel world was completely foreign. And I know through the classes at the Apparel Mentor, it was suggested that if you can make it to one of the trade shows, that's a really good place. And yeah, like 2 weeks before the trade show last April, I decided to go, and I would say that it was very, very, very beneficial to go to the trade show. Not only was I able to talk with various fabric vendors and walk out with samples, or samples were going to be delivered to me, but I was able to make connections with various manufacturers. So when we get to that point, have some of those people and those connections in mind too. So that was very beneficial and very helpful.
Yeah, awesome. So now that you have your first prototype, any thoughts there on like, how do you feel about getting that first prototype in your hands?
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. Being able to open it up and look at it. I mean, the fabric is phenomenal. It's everything that I wanted. Obviously, we have a few more iterations to do because going through your first prototype is it's exactly how I wanted it to be, but now there's a few things where I'm like, well, that's not really working the way I want it to. So we'll get through those. I might have to do another fabric show just to maybe work on something else that we're trying to fit into it. But I'll learn more about that when we have our after our first prototype meeting.
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's great. That's awesome to hear. It is so exciting to get that first prototype in your hand. And I always try to make sure people are aware that there will be probably more than one prototype that you'll have to do
Yeah,
for various reasons. So it's
right.
yeah, it's just normal part of the process. Did you have any sort of challenges up till now that you've kind of had to overcome or wiggle around and figure out?
Yeah, so I think when I went into this, I thought that I was going to source my material overseas.
Mm,
And this was another very positive outcome from the fabric show was that, I mean, right at the time that I went to the fabric show and the trade show, the tariffs went into place. And after speaking
mm,
with people firsthand, it kind of became more obvious to us that working here in the United States would be a much better fit, both for my first time diving into this and for just the simplicity of being able to easily travel anywhere in the United States and work with the various vendors for that.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really great to hear. I hear that often that challenge of working overseas cannot always be the easiest, especially for first time entrepreneurs. So that's
Yeah, and I would say like some of the other hurdles were just the I had the fabric in my hand for months, wanting to make sure that it was the right one,
mhm.
researching it. But my gut was telling me this was the right one, and I wish I would have pulled the trigger faster on saying let's use this fabric for the prototype. But I was unsure and kept thinking I could find a different one. So I would say that the two biggest hurdles were finding, knowing that the fabric that I initially liked was the fabric that I went with, and
Yeah,
and it's kind of like that little voice in your head saying this is the right one. Like stop searching,
right.
and going to the trade show and being able to talk to these vendors and the people that was huge. And I brought my notebook that I used with the Apparel Mentor, and I mean it was like a step-by-step guide on everything that I needed to know to to get into the right conversations.
Oh, that's great. That kind of brings me to my next question, and maybe that's the answer already, but just kind of if you could speak to anything that the Apparel Mentor specifically brought to light for you, like any sort of, points that really were educational or that you really found valuable in the process.
Oh my gosh, the whole like lesson by lesson, it was a blueprint for what you need to do and what you need to know. Obviously, there's going to be unknowns anywhere you go, but I would say knowing that I had the blueprint, especially for fabric sourcing and how to talk to vendors and how to make yourself presentable and sound serious was definitely all because of the Apparel Mentor and taking the classes and taking the notes, million notes, and then reviewing notes before I went to the fabric trade show. It was definitely. I would not have been able to do it without the Apparel Mentor. I
Oh,
mean,
that's so
you
awesome.
walk into I mean, and this might not be the pathway for everybody's going to the trade show, but you walk into this giant convention center and it is overwhelming and you don't know where you're going, what you're doing. You don't even know like where to begin. I guess I did have help with my pattern maker and targeting certain vendors
Mm,
to
okay.
start with instead of just blindly going in. So I would say that that was also a huge help. But
Awesome.
yeah, I would say that going through the Apparel Mentor program was probably the best thing for this whole process.
Oh my God, that's so great to hear. So is there any sort of advice you would give someone else who is either thinking about starting the program or just starting the process and kind of any advice to newbies?
Yeah, I would say it would be take all the notes you can in the class. Use the app. That's very helpful. You guys have all been very helpful when I've had questions, whether it's in class or outside of the class. Um, I, I mean, I can't stress enough that it is like the exact blueprint for what needs to happen to dive in.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So I guess anything else that you just want to share in general, about your process and your product, let us know that. And then also I'd love to kind of hear maybe a look ahead at what's next for you as far as I know you're gonna finish refining your prototype, but even farther than that, what are you looking forward to for your brand?
Um, I guess like what I'm most looking forward to is seeing it go online, and seeing it kind of go live. I know it's been a long time in the making. Let's see, 2 years ago, I started taking the course. I think the course, I did take a little bit of a break because of some family stuff. So, I mean, honestly, probably could have taken the course a little bit faster than what I did, but it was where I was at in my stage of life. But you can go as fast or as slow with this
Mhm.
as you want.
Yeah,
um, and I guess the biggest thing is like to rush, and make decisions that maybe you don't feel so comfortable with, would be my thought process, on that. Um, and I feel like the other piece of it is like talk to anybody and everybody. I have had, multiple friends come out of the woodwork from, who are working towards similar things, or have had connections with other people and other thoughts on various fabrics, etc. But I think what I'm most looking forward to is seeing my product go live.
that's awesome. So are you currently just working on one style at the moment?
Yes, one style. It's going to have different patterns, and
Mhm.
I added in, a third piece of it, which would be, a neck gaiter.
Oh, great.
So
Awesome.
it's the top and the leggings, and it's going to be a full set that matches, and, that you'll want to wear anywhere and everywhere, on the slopes, after the slopes, um, in the warm, in the, ice rinks, anywhere you
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
wear compression.
yeah, that's great. Yes, so it's got that kind of fashion and function
Yes, that is the
crossover.
biggest piece is the fashion and function. And I mean, the ideas that I have for, making different pieces to the line, making it, I mean, it's definitely something that I want as a lifestyle brand. So adding more is definitely, in my mind, but, I'm really trying to focus just on this first set for the launch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that was kind of all the questions I had for you. If there's anything else you want to add, feel free. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for being here and sharing your
Well,
experience with me.
thank you guys very much. It's been a huge help. Couldn't do it without the Apparel Mentor.
Oh, thanks so much. Um, all right. Well, that was kind of all I had. Is there anything else that I have that I can help you with or that you have?
No, I mean, not at the moment. If I do need to reach out, is that going to be okay to reach out to you guys? I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, just depending on what it is. We have a couple ways. I'm happy to always get on a quick like 15-minute like free consult, whatever you need, or a quick email. If it becomes a little bit more than that, we do have paid consultations by the hour, so we can spend like up to an hour with you and go through like whatever you need. And yeah, so whichever one works, if it's just a quick thing, feel free to reach out. If it's going to take a little bit more in depth, then we'll just do a paid consult.
okay, sounds
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm wishing you all the best. I took a look at your site. It looks like it's just in the process of getting up and running. So if,
Yes, so
if
yeah,
you
we've got the site going, and then,
Hmm.
I think the social media piece is probably,
Yeah,
for me, that is the hardest part.
sure.
And I know I kind of have a roadmap for what I'm supposed to be doing. And now I have a little bit better feel of, I've gone through some of the other, women-owned, ski apparel, companies, and gone through their social media to see how they started,
Hmm.
and going to kind of emulate some of that stuff. But yeah, the social media piece is huge because now we need to have a customer base prior to actually
Yeah.
launching.
Yeah, exactly. Um, are you working with anyone for that, like marketing or anything like that? Or are you just doing it on your own?
I am not. I'm doing it on my own, but, if you have suggestions.
I have maybe a couple suggestions and I can. I don't have great, I will say this is not something we specialize in, so my suggestions are just sort of off the cuff. But there is a woman who actually was in the mentor session. Her name is Patty Reams, Remes. I can send you her connection. But she volunteered her services if someone wanted to talk to her. I also know that if you're, are you familiar with Jane Hamill?
And
Hill. She works in the apparel space and she does a lot with kind of like marketing and sales type. I
okay,
think she even has a course on it. So I could send you that information and you might find that interesting. That's probably the best I can do at the moment, but
it would be awesome if you could send me both of their contact
yeah.
information.
Yeah, I'll do that right after this. And like I said, that's not exactly my specialty, but those are a couple things that might help. Um,
Yeah,
And yeah, I think you're just on the right track. We always talk about just getting started early and, sharing your journey as much as possible with your followers because, that's kind of who you're building community with.
yeah. I know my husband's been helping me with a lot of this too because he definitely has a business background and I don't. But
Yeah.
that's kind of been his pieces. Like we've got to build the customer base and build that social media piece and talk about the journey to get there. And
Yeah.
I'm a little bit shy to be on social media for that. So,
I think that's like literally everyone's hurdle is everyone feels shy, but then also like I think when they do it, they get maybe not like totally over it, but they get kind of that sense of like community and people are like supporting them and it's worth it.
totally. And I think I have a friend who's built a Pilates business out of her home, and she's a little bit further along in the social media journey than I am, but she enlisted one of our neighbors who's a teenager to help
Oh
her
yeah.
understand how to do the social media piece. And I think I'm like, well, I mean, that's kind of brilliant because they're the ones that
Mhm.
know everything about social media, I think. And I feel like just talking with them and probably
Yeah.
having them show me how to do most of it would be
Mhm.
helpful. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but I would also like to talk to anybody in marketing that would be able to help give us
Yeah.
tricks. I don't, anything that we need to know that we haven't thought about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I'll send that my two cents worth of stuff to you. And then yeah, if you have any other like questions or need assistance, please reach out to us. I'd love to follow your journey and help you if we can at all.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you very much for your time. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.